in the Civic, aren't we? Well, I got,
Is this thing on?
no, I don't think so. Okay, so anyways, I got the Civic out, playing with it a little bit, and gonna do some data logging, see where the car's at, see how much oil we can burn, and just ship it. Send it, Poppy.
Are we going to PetSmart?
What?
Are we going to PetSmart? Oh.
Should we try the two-step though? With the brake?
You mean you launch it, you mean?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Why do you need a brake for two-step?
I don't know if this is a good spot, but yeah. With my car to get it to shoot a fireball is like go to like $5,000 in second gear with like light throttle and then shift to third slowly and then hit the gas and it goes pow. Every car's a little different.
Look at those airplanes.
They're pretty high.
They probably can't even see it.
Right? They probably definitely can't see that.
Are those drones or airplanes?
Those look like airplanes, I think.
Oh yeah, those are airplanes.
Airplanes too.
It's about to get rowdy, isn't it?
What does that mean?
What?
We're on low boost.
Yeah, but we're on a highway on-ramp. Now you're slowing down.
You kind of cut out there for a second.
A little bit. Because you don't have a screen?
I don't know. See, we got 80 PSI at fucking 4,800.
Nothing, yeah, nothing on the graph shows,
Oh, you recorded that?
Yeah.
It's good until like fourth gear.
Can you track VTEC on here?
It's gonna signal that it's on though. It's kicking off because of oil pressure. You know what I mean?
Don't we bypass that?
But it still needs oil pressure to activate. To hit the rocker. Do a third gear pull and watch the oil pressure. I know you can't watch it on there, but I wonder if it's only in VTEC or if it's in high RPM.
Yeah.
That's a good test we can do.
almost
Turn
building.
VTEC back on.
You're almost building too much pressure.
No, it's like when I accelerate. You know what I mean? Because if I'm just standing here, it builds pressure. But when it bobs, 90 pounds. This is weird. Because sometimes it's fine.
Confirm. Track money, Benny. I buy you champagne, but you love some Henny. From the block like you Jenny. I know you special, girl, cause I know too many.
Wrong gear there, pal. Oh, your e-brake's on.
Oh, it is?
That wasn't the right
That was
challenge.
not the Kiki challenge, was it? And that
No,
wasn't the right part of the song.
No, you missed. You right after you ended was the right part.
Alright guys, I'm going to practice staging the car with the new Hydro e-brake, and we're in Mexico right now, so we just made a pit stop down here so I can practice my staging and practice kind of like, you know, bumping in and all that kind of stuff with the new Hydro, because it's a little difficult with the front wheel drive. It's not, you know, impossible, but it takes a little bit of finesse to get the clutch preloaded and to get the e-brake loaded perfectly and everything like that. And I'm just going to try and see if I can get it dialed in and practice a little bit for the next time we go drag racing. So Michael's going to get out of the car and he's going to film and see how it looks.
Run. Again. All right.
What?
I just let the door shut itself. First one not so hot. Second one pretty good.
Yeah, well, I actually tried to do a burnout the second time. The first time I tried to launch it,
Oh.
and it wheel hopped.
Yeah, slip the clutch more maybe. On the street.
Need to dump it harder.
Really?
I don't know. Pop. I could just do that all day. Now I wonder why the oil pressure's dropping.
Don't know.
Send it. Lock VTEC, fuck it. Who cares? It don't need oil to fucking lock V.
This is a truck or is this a...
Is that a cop? It looks like a
It's
truck.
a truck. It's a bulldozer.
Kinda looks like a cop. Said the motor's hurt. That's all he said.
Really?
I'm like, one, it's not knocking, and two, it has good oil pressure. Like, if I rev it right now, it'll build 80 psi, or I'm on the two-step, it's at like 90.
Yeah.
I feel like the motor's fine, it's just that it's sucking air or something. You know what I mean? Or leaking somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because if I'm just accelerating like lightly, it builds fucking pressure just fine. You know what I mean? Oh, I take a left corner though and it drops. You see that?
Yeah.
Here, let me change lanes like a fucking Vin Diesel. Yeah, dude, it drops hard when I turn.
something with the pickup too.
Let's see how much it drops when I turn left. Oh yeah, down to 20.
20.
And then when I straighten out, it's at 50. Well, ain't that a bitch?
It's weird.
Fucking Rotella. I'm just kidding. Okay guys, so I'm back home now. I was messing with the Civic a little bit today and got a little bit of footage. We tested out the stage brake and we tested out, just kind of drove the car around to see if there was any more issues that kind of came about. And there was. And that's what I'm going to explain to you guys right now. If you guys care to know, you can stick around and kind of listen to me talk. So anyways, me and Michael were driving around and I noticed that when, I drove the car for like a good hour, like a solid straight hour of driving it. And, you know, obviously the longer you run the car, the thinner the oil gets and the lower the oil pressure is going to get as well. At least that's just how Hondas are. You know, the oil gets hot, it thins out, and then the pressure is lower. So I noticed that we were driving it and I'd bang fourth gear and it'd start like breaking up, or it would just like, it would fall on its face and it wouldn't have any power. And I glance over at the gauges and the gauges was, you know, the fuel was good, the boost was right there, and then I seen oil pressure and it was down to like 20 PSI. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So then I started watching the oil pressure as I did a pull. And I noticed when I let off the gas, the oil pressure would rocket ship up to like 80 PSI. And then when I'd get into the gas, the oil pressure would drop. It should be the opposite. Or not opposite, but it should increase when you get into it. You know what I mean? Like if you are flooring it and it's increasing RPM, it should be increasing oil pressure. So that kind of got me thinking, and I talked to Brent from PFI Speed, and he said add a quart of oil. So I added a quart of oil, and the problem got better. I failed to mention also, if I were to like take a corner really hard, like jam a left-hand corner, the oil pressure would drop to pretty much nothing, like 5-10 PSI when I was, you know, cramming to the left really hard or cramming to the right really hard. The oil pressure would drop to pretty much nothing. And I put a quart of oil in, and then when I turned left really hard or turned right really hard, it got better. It would drop only a few PSI. It wouldn't drop, you know, 50, 60 PSI like it was. So me and Michael proceeded with the extra quart of oil in the car. We proceeded to go do some pulls, and it worked good. Everything was working good, but the oil pressure was still dropping when it climbed up in RPM. So I don't know if this ACL pump either A, pumps more oil, like pumps a shitload of oil that it needs more oil capacity, or B, the pump is shit and it's like cavitating on itself, and I don't know. I want to think that the ACL pump is just a better pump and it needs more oil capacity in order to work properly. I don't know if any of you have had this issue. Please let me know down in the comments. I have a stock B20 pan, which I've had no issues with in the past with the OEM pumps. I've had no issues, and you know, the oil pressure was always like 80 PSI when I was at 8,000 RPM. It wasn't ever down to 30 or 40, or low enough for VTEC not to work. You know what I mean? So the oil pressure was definitely dropping, and I'm trying to figure out like what to do next. Like, do I buy a Moroso pan that's like baffled, like a race baffling, and it holds more oil? I get like a 5.5 quart Moroso pan that holds more oil and is baffled, so when you take corners and stuff, it doesn't drop oil pressure, and when you accelerate really hard, it doesn't drop oil pressure. Also, the car is on like 14 pounds of boost in third gear, and it rips, dude. Like, it screams. And I feel like it's the hardest I've accelerated on the street with these tires and stuff. The car actually hooks up like half-ass decent on 14 pounds, and it accelerates hard enough to maybe get air sucked up into the pickup tube, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling thoughts out right now to try to figure out what the next step is. I honestly might add another quart of oil and see if it improves even more. Because if I just keep adding oil and then the pressure maintains, then I pretty much know that it's a pickup issue and not a pump issue. That's what I'll probably do tomorrow. But the car is burning oil a little bit because of the turbo seals, and it's not bad enough for me to really replace it right now. It's like sometimes it doesn't smoke at all, and then sometimes it smokes at the top of a pole or whatever. But like I said, not bad enough for me to really replace it. And it's not really enough for me to like lose a quart of oil every time I drive it or anything like that. But the catch can seems to be filling up kind of fast with this new setup. I don't know why. It's not burning oil through the rings. It can't be because I put new rings in it and all that. Maybe it's just making more jam. It's probably just making more damn jam. And that's what's causing more blow-by. More cylinder pressure. So in turn, blowing frickin' oil up into the catch can. I think I just need to put a vented valve cover on the car, and a lot of these problems will be gone. Because I'll have proper ventilation then with valve cover and back of the block, and not just back of the block breathers. Because I feel like the back of the block breathers will fill up the catch can a lot faster, versus if you had valve cover instead of back of the block. Hopefully this stuff makes sense, guys, and I'm trying to like keep you informed of what I'm thinking in my head. I feel like I'm not making a damn bit of sense right now, but anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any ideas for me, please leave them down in the comments of what you guys think the issue could be. Like I said, it's either this ACL pump, or it could be the fact that I'm just low on oil. The dipstick says I'm full, and I added an extra quart of oil and checked it while the car was like hot. So like I was running the car for a while, and then I shut it off and I checked it right away. So like any residual oil that was in the head, whatever was actually in the pan was on the dipstick kind of thing. And it was like a little bit below full. So maybe I'll just add another quart and run fucking 6 quarts of oil on my stock B20 pan that's meant to hold 4 quarts and see if that helps. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to send it, and it's fine if it's cold. Like if it's fucking cold and I don't drive it for like longer than a half hour, you wouldn't notice these issues, and VTEC would still work, and it would just drop oil pressure a little bit, and you could keep going, and it's all good. But the longer you drive it, the thinner the oil gets, the worse this problem becomes. And it shouldn't be dropping with high RPM, period. So I got to figure this out. But anyways, I got some videos coming on my truck. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy those. It's going to be a little bit change of pace, but it's also something that a lot of people came to my channel for. If that gives you guys a hint of what I'm doing to the Yee Yee Mobile. Also, the Busa might be going. Don't know. Might be selling it. We'll see. Catch you guys later.